Something is quietly bleeding behind the numbers we trust. A system that claims to serve everyone, yet only a few seem to pull the strings. You don't see it at first. It hides in plain sight, in the banks you walk past every day, in the currencies you use, in the interest rates you pay without question. But if you follow the money, really follow it, the map leads somewhere, unsettling. Somewhere where power isn't elected, but quietly inherited, passed down in whispers and ledgers. And once you've glimpsed the machinery behind it, you realize it's not just about money, it's about control. When you hear the word bank, you probably picture a tall, gleaming building, a place where people store their cash, maybe get a loan for a house or a car. But underneath the marble floors and polished counters, there's a network, a hidden ecosystem, where decisions are made that touch every economy in the world. Not politicians, not voters, but a small circle of people whose identities are shielded behind layers of corporations, shell companies, and shadow agreements. They are the ones quietly moving trillions, setting interest rates that ripple like unseen waves, determining which nations thrive, which nations falter, and the eeriest part, most people never question it. We've been conditioned to see money as neutral, a tool, something we earn or lose. But money is a language, and these people have written the dictionary. Each note printed, each digital transfer logged, each financial crisis engineered, is all part of a design so precise, so calculated, that it reads almost like a pulse, beating in sync with global fear and compliance. The central banks, supposedly independent, are often portrayed as guardians, impartial referees. Yet, dig deeper, and you'll notice patterns. Loans to favored countries, bailouts for select corporations, debt traps that appear overnight. It's not chaos, it's orchestration. The world's financial system is designed to keep wealth concentrated in a very small group while the rest scramble for scraps. And when crises happen, recessions, stock crashes, sudden inflation, they are rarely accidental. Each one shifts power subtly, nudging entire populations into dependency. It's a quiet control, invisible to most. People argue over politics, protest local policies, fight among themselves, while the real decisions are made by a few whose names rarely appear on headlines. And those names, if you even try to uncover them, are obscured behind decades of legal veils and financial jargon that is almost impossible to penetrate. It's as if the money itself has been weaponized, a tool for domination more precise than any army. Then there's the way money is created through debt, interest, and digital ledgers most of us don't understand. Every dollar, every euro, every yen in existence is essentially borrowed into being. And when it comes time to repay, the system ensures that the borrowers aren't, not the lenders carry the burden. Nations, corporations, and ordinary people are trapped in a loop where growth is necessary, yet always insufficient. Fail to borrow, fail to produce, fail to obey, and the consequences can be devastating. And yet, very few talk about this openly. You hear financial advice, pundits on TV, economic theories in textbooks, but the conversation about who controls creation of money and why is almost taboo. It's like the entire world has agreed to ignore the fact that someone, somewhere, is quietly authoring the rules of wealth and scarcity. The more you notice it, the more unsettling it becomes. But control isn't just about printing money. It's about influence. Global banks have ties to governments, media, tech companies. They fund campaigns, research, institutions, and entire think tanks that shape public perception. They can make certain narratives viral while silencing others. They determine who gets capital, who is crushed under debt, and who is left to struggle. Each decision, each transaction, is a subtle nudge in a direction few even recognize exists. And when someone steps out of line, when a nation tries to challenge the system, history shows us consequences that are swift and severe. Economic sanctions, political coups, sudden market collapses, all tools in the same toolbox, wielded with quiet precision. The pattern repeats over centuries, quietly, efficiently, and almost invisibly to the world. Imagine a web stretching across continents, each thread representing not trade, but leverage, debt, influence, and secrets. Each node an institution, a person. A family pulls on these threads with almost imperceptible timing, creating movements that appear natural, spontaneous, yet are carefully choreographed. Ordinary citizens move through life unaware that their choices are subtly guided, their economies nudged, their dreams constrained, and the further you trace these threads, the darker it gets. There's evidence of manipulation in times of war, in the collapse of currencies, in the financial crises that destroy livelihoods. No one official admits it. The world's headlines blame market forces or bad governance. But the truth, as always, is far more personal and far more sinister. It's intentional. And it's profitable. Some say it's all theory conspiracy. But then you see the documents, the transactions, the meetings behind closed doors. You see patterns that no coincidence could explain. Interest rates that shift just before major elections, bailouts that appear like clockwork, policies that enrich the already wealthy while leaving everyone else scrambling. Every movement has a fingerprint, even if the signature is invisible. And the psychological part is just as haunting. The system doesn't just manipulate well, it manipulates perception. Debt, scarcity, uncertainty. They keep people distracted, anxious, compliant. Most never realize that the fear itself is currency, traded for obedience, shaped into behavior that sustains a system most people think exists to serve them. It's a delicate dance, hidden in plain sight. Those at the top don't need to wield guns, they wield ledgers. And if a nation, a corporation, or a media outlet strays, they can be silenced without the world even noticing. Laws, contracts, and financial obligations are all carefully crafted instruments of control. And when you consider the scale, billions of people, trillions in assets, the gravity of it hits slowly, like sinking into water that looks calm on the surface but hides unseen currents. And yet, for most, life goes on as if nothing is wrong. People work, they spend, they invest, they trust the system. But the few who start to see the patterns, their unease grows. They notice the coincidences that aren't coincidences. They realize the system is a map, and the lines on it converge at points that are never questioned. And then comes the twist you don't expect. It isn't just governments or corporations being manipulated, it's central banks themselves. Hidden agreements, secret councils, cross-national boards that make decisions which even the highest officials in a country cannot override. The map shows not a world of nations, but a world of financiers, families, and institutions quietly directing the flow of money, power, and even human behavior. The puppeteers are not outsiders, they are insiders, controlling the very system that pretends to regulate them. And in this realization, the horror deepens. Every global crisis, every market crash, every financial accident has fingerprints on it, meticulously planned. And the more you trace it, the more it feels like the world isn't designed for freedom at all, it's designed for control. Not coercion, but compliance. Not chaos, but choreography. Even those who think they are powerful are often just playing roles in a system they don't fully understand. Leaders are influenced, coerced, or complicit, and sometimes all three. Media and technology amplify only what the controllers allow. Wealth and debt are not tools, they are chains, silently wrapped around every nation, every citizen. And those chains, they tighten gradually, so subtly, that most never notice until escape is impossible. And yet, some do notice. And that's when things get dangerous. Whistleblowers, investigators, journalists, they disappear, are discredited, or worse. The system defends itself with invisibility and precision, making those who uncover it question their sanity. And that's the ultimate weapon, to make the truth so hidden, so unsettling, that when it emerges, it feels impossible, unreal, almost like madness. And finally, here it is. The truth, as horrifying as it is simple. A handful of families, banks, and global institutions quietly control the flow of money, and with it, the flow of power. They dictate prosperity and scarcity, manipulate economies and wars, shape governance, and policies, all without a single vote. The world you see, the markets, the currencies, the news is a carefully constructed illusion, a stage where everyone plays a part, and very few see the puppeteers. And in that realization, you feel the weight of it almost physically. Because once you see the map, there is no going back. You understand the system is not broken, it's perfected. And the most unsettling part, the hands that control it never tire, never err, and never ask permission. So, next time you check your bank balance, consider this. The numbers are not yours. The money is not yours. The world, as you know it, is not yours. And somewhere, quietly, the people who pull the strings are smiling, because the map never lies. And now, neither do you